Welcome everybody to Grumpy Old Men for yet another week. We're on program, I don't know, 70 something or other, and
Wow.
they said it wouldn't last.
Well, they were wrong, weren't they?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
This is Steve Ross, everybody, and it's with an E on the end of both the Steve and... Did you ever get Stephen?
No.
From your mother when you'd done something wrong. Stephen?
No, it is on my birth certificate, I think, as Steve. Certainly every document I've ever been involved with, my driver's license, my divorce papers, it's just Steve. Yeah. 5 letters in Steve, 5 letters in Ross. That's numerologically, that's a very powerful number. And Mom was a beatnik and into numerology at that time.
I used to get Timothy if I did something wrong. The only person that ever called me Timothy was my mother.
Yeah. This is Timothy Newton, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
I will introduce him with an E after the N and before the W.
And the Newton starts with a G. It's got a G-N.
Gnuten.
But the G is silent. So we're talking about all sorts of random things. Last night, it was an appalling evening. I don't know how we got through it.
Yeah, it was rough.
But the power went off.
Yeah.
It's actually gone off a little bit more often this year than I sort of recall last year.
Yes, it certainly is. And I don't think that has anything to do with all the new vendors on the beach road tapping in illegally to the power poles to light their...
Over the road from where I live, we've now got this string of vendors. Probably goes about, 200 metres down the road. And they're there for, from sort of 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon till about 7 at night. Then they all pack up, take their tables, take everything, and it's all clear when we wake up in the morning.
And clean. They do a very good job. No? Oh, okay.
Some of the locals get involved with the cleaning because...
The vendors don't...
Not terribly good.
Well, I am disappointed. I had thought that they were very conscientious about that.
But some of them have strung sort of a long extension cord over the road, tried to find a lamp pole.
Yeah.
Sometimes they succeed, sometimes they don't. Yeah. Sometimes a motorbike goes past and ends up with a extension cord around his neck. So it's
there used to be
hit and miss.
There used to be a dead, the bottom layer of all of these cables, I am told, is fiber optic. It's not electric. It's communications. And a lot of times someone will stop their service or they'll move away or it'll break and they just leave them up there. But there was one right here for years, a couple years, that used to hang right across the sidewalk, right at neck level.
Yeah, that's right.
And somebody has removed that. I am pleased to see.
Well, after taking the third head off, they thought, we better do something about that.
Three's enough.
Yeah.
About that market, it's newish, and there goes Pat. Guy lives in a restaurant, but he goes out every day to buy coffee. The Albator had commissioned for me 2 turtles to put by the gates of this new market on the beach that they were launching. And the first week they were there and they looked great. And I took pictures and I was very
fantastic.
proud. They have not done that again. I think the guys responsible for moving them and bringing them back and moving them and bringing them back have said, we're not going to do that
The first
anymore.
week they had cables running out, a string along the ground. This is where you got to set up your booth, and they had lights and people directing people. It's just put your booth where you like.
Yeah.
That's just gone by the wayside. But we did find out some interesting information in the last week.
Us?
Well, you. But
We?
You have since passed this on to me, of which I went, really? And apparently this stretch of road, which was not always paved with tar, it's a long, flat, 10-kilometre road?
Yeah, exactly 10 kilometers.
And but apparently it used to be a road of ill repute.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we've got a new mic.
Hi, Mike. Can you hear us? Hello, can you hear us?
Testing.
Bap, 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 bap. Is
That
this
always
thing on?
helps. So tell us about the history of this road.
Well, all right, yeah. So if you're not familiar with the geography, we're in the front window of a coffee shop called Dip Pha La Le. We're always very grateful to Kun Pla and her staff at Dip Pha La Le. If you come to Tai Muang or Turtle Beach, come have a coffee at Jip Fa La Le.
Or coffee.
Yeah,
You
you
don't
hear
have to have a coffee.
or a coffee. Yeah, number one on the menu, coffee. But, so it's a long, straight, flat road. It's a cul-de-sac. It's a dead end. Exactly 10 kilometers because the original tin mining concession
Kilometres.
was kilometers. And on the other side of that long, flat, straight road is a green sward, is a foreshore of maybe 50 meters, and then the Andaman Sea, the ocean. So we are looking right now at a slightly overcast but not threatening Andaman Sea.
I think it's about 30 metres, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't know. I could tell you how many feet. It's 50
About
feet.
33 yards.
But it used to be, Taimung means end of the tin mine. And this used to be all tin mining. So this foreshore, between 1850, when they started selling 100-year leases, the Thai government started selling 100-year leases to Chinese mining firms. From the 1850s to the 1950s, 60s, 70s, this place was full of ramshackle housing. You had tin dredges out at sea, and the men who worked on those dredges lived on the green sward. And then this side of the road was brothels. Brothel, because you had 10,000 Chinese guys who were 10,000 miles from home, and on payday they needed somewhere to go. So bars and brothels and places that sold tools and work clothes and things like that.
How exotic.
The entire road from down here to up there, again, I'm describing the geography for you, was all red light district.
Tell me, Steve, about the house you're living in.
I am living in a former brothel that was called Night Lady. And my friend Lai told me about this. And the
fact that your friend's called Lai is not a really good sign.
No,
I wouldn't have thought.
As in to rush on or to run on. Lai.
Right, or to lie.
Oh my God, the waitress here, I was not getting the word cement correctly. Their turtle, their trash turtle I made for them, which is the second or third I ever made.
Yes.
He is falling apart because it's just paper mache, and in the monsoon it's under an overhang but not much. So I have to make them a new turtle. And I was saying, yeah, now I make them with cement. Boon. Oh, she chastised me.
What's the name
was
of the cafe in town?
Bun, meaning merit. Tambun. Merit.
see.
And this is cement.
This is why Thai is so difficult.
Oh, it is. It's a pain in the larynx. But at any rate, yeah, we live in a former, which only, it all stopped in 1987 when they made this. They knocked down all the workers' housing as part of the contract, and kudos to the Chinese mining company. They kept their word from 100 years before that they would terraform all of this back to nature.
It looks great.
It looks great. They planted coconut trees, so it's not pure nature. But the casuarinas have invaded since the mid-'80s, and you see all these casuarinas now. But that's fairly recent in my mind. My house was a knocking shop.
Those casuarinas have been there a lot longer than...
Well, I think up there they have. I think here, where everybody was living, I think these have encroached from either end since 1987. Or I don't know. Maybe they built their houses around existing casuarina trees.
They're old trees.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly that one is. That's not a casuarina, though.
No.
But yeah, perhaps they built around the foliage.
I'd like to think that we have raised the tone of the area from those hillbilly days.
Well, you have, certainly. Everybody respects this man's business acumen. Everybody in town. Nobody respects my business acumen. I'm kind of a court gesture for the Thai people in the neighborhood. They like to laugh at Steve, and that's perfectly fine. I will fulfill that function.
So it's when you come here, you can now perhaps pretend that you are reliving those days. Come and rent a beach house and something else. I don't know.
Well, first you have to spend 12 hours on your knees with a pan, sifting ore out of the sand. Then you can go for 15 minutes and get your knob waxed in the knocking job.
It does explain why the area is very, very Thai Chinese.
Yes.
And has very strong Chinese links.
Yep.
In the next month will be the Vegetarian Festival, when for my third time, your fourth time...
I won't be here.
Oh, you won't be here during the Vegetarian Festival?
No, I leave the 27th. of October.
You'll be here during
so I'll
the
be
veg
here
fest
for the veg
for
fest.
most
yeah.
of it.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't mind it. I like it. The crowds, I don't do well in crowds, but the fact that it's going on and there are firecrackers and firecrackers and firecrackers and firecrackers, that doesn't bother me much. That's part of that exotica, that otherworldliness that we move abroad, I think, to experience.
Because I now live at the sort of the Paris end of the beach.
Yes, you do. Rive Gauche. Yes.
That they just over the road is where they not only got the vendors during the daytime, but at night times during the vegetarian festival, they decide that they've got a few firecrackers left over, so they'll launch them into the sky, and it does.
Yeah.
That's what caused Daisy's
Anxiety.
and when she did her leg, which ended
right.
up costing me all that money to get her hip fixed up.
That's right. Yeah.
So we've booked the beach house down the other end.
Oh, you're going to come down, live in the slum with us. Yeah, okay.
But it'd be at least quieter down there.
Yeah.
The unfashionable end of the street. Speaking of pronunciations, you were going to ask me about a pronunciation.
Well, last week we were talking about Kun Thaksin and his weird going away and then coming back to face jail time. And
that worked well.
That weird guy. That I don't know. I don't follow politics at all. But that weird going away and coming back, I'm not sure what that was all about. But he was on a plane called a
Bombardier.
In America, we would say bombardier. A bombardier.
I always used to say bombardier, but a whole lot of Canadian people used to jump on me every time I said it. And I said, no, it's bombardier. So I've been calling it bombardier ever since. So let's ignite the comment section. Is it bombardier, option 1, or bombardier, option 2?
Yeah. Hey, Canadians jump on you, but afterwards they always say, sorry. Anyway. Speaking of pronunciation.
Accents, I love them.
Yeah.
You've got to have accents. And we sometimes get confused. So I was going to talk about, there is a set of Labubu dolls behind us. And we might actually get her if we can. Oh, it's the man, not the lady.
An on-the-street interview.
I was going to get Pla.
Q is
Where
his
is
name.
Pla? Is she around?
I imagine she's probably baking. She's probably cooking at the moment.
Okay.
If Q is watching the register, she'll be in the back baking.
But she's got a whole 3 or 4 sort of shelves full of these Labubu dolls. Have you seen the Labubu dolls? And do you know anything about Labubu dolls?
No, except that it's a trend. I had a cousin who lost a frightening amount of money in Beanie Babies. And he thought literally that would be his children's college education.
Oh, no.
And unfortunately, the bottom fell out of that market. And
so these are slightly creepy looking. I'll put a picture.
Not slightly. They're weird as hell. They're freaky. I don't like them. The boo-boo give me nightmares.
But I'm trying to think of other sort of doll trends that came and went. Not that I follow them religiously, but there was like the Cabbage Patch dolls.
Yeah.
And there was
American Girls in America. Probably not a big seller in, Eastern Bloc countries, but the American Girl dolls, when my daughter was of a dolly age.
Oh, yes. You would have gone through it.
Oh, God, yes. And they're not cheap. They're $100 each.
So
and then you got to buy the clothes and everything else.
What happened to the Cabbage Patch dolls? They just went out of fashion.
They did. They had a resurgence. I think a lot of things. There's a very interesting documentary on Netflix about this guy who's the Pez king or something like that. He's made a fortune and lost a fortune and remade a fortune in Pez.
They're the dispensers.
Yeah, and it's because it's cyclical. They will get a following and then they'll die out, and then they'll get another following. They will come back with nostalgia, and then they'll die out. And the action figures, George Lucas is a much better toy salesman than he is movie director. And all of the Star Wars little action figures from the 70s are worth thousands and thousands now. But as Disney keeps destroying that franchise, their value goes down and down as the old guys my age who collected them in the 70s and 80s are dying out. And their families, their children don't want these silly little things. They give them to Goodwill. So the market is much depressed, I
We
think,
should
at the moment.
mention that Disney did get some of their reputation back when they brought out Andor season 2. Andor was excellent TV, I thought.
I think it's very uneven now because you don't have that auteur at the head of it. You don't have George Lucas propelling it. Though, now that I think of it, obviously his first 3 were terrific. His next 3 sucked, and that's why he sold it to Disney. So, you know, this unevenness that we're seeing, same in the Star Trek franchise, and I suppose whatever you're into, whatever, you know, Twilight, I don't know, whatever you're into, you know, it's going to go like this because different directors, different producers, different actors. Yeah.
I've certainly enjoyed the last 3 Star Trek films more than the original series.
The J.J. Abrams reboot?
Yeah,
those are polarizing.
Which we honour with our lighting here. Where is it?
Yeah, have we got Flair? Have we got J.J. Flair?
We've got J.J. Flair on the lights. I tried to remove
a little
some of it.
Vaseline to really accentuate that, yeah.
But
yeah, J.J., you know, I very much enjoyed the first one of those 3, particularly the way the young actors channeled the older actors, the way Sulu was doing a little bit of George Takei, and the way that Chris Pine threw himself in the command chair. He flopped in it, which you would never see any of the other captains of the Enterprise. They all sit perfectly rigidly straight. Captain James T. Kirk flops into that chair, and Chris Pine did that too. A lot of little Easter eggs for the fans. I enjoyed that a lot. Yeah.
But it also stood alone if you'd never seen a Star Trek film in your life before. It stood alone as a good action flick.
Yeah.
But back to the Labubu dolls. Not that I've got anything big to say about them.
Well, you seem to.
I'm trying to think. What other of those doll franchises sort of came and went? What was the digital one? The Tamagotchi?
Oh, yes. You had to feed
doll,
it.
Wasn't it?
You had to feed it every day.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Pokemon, which were
that
cards.
sort of continues.
I suppose. I no longer have preteen children, so I'm not au courant on what the kids are into these days. But oh my God, yeah, Magic the Gathering, all the card games when I was a kid.
Trolls?
Not when I was a kid. When
dolls?
Trolls. Oh God, when I was a kid, I had trolls. Yeah.
I had one on my pencil.
Yes.
I don't know why.
A pencil topper, those are called, a pencil topper.
I don't think I ever understood anything about the trolls or the mythology or...
I don't think there was a mythology behind them.
The big one, Barbie.
Oh, okay.
She's had a pretty good run.
She has. And
anatomically completely incorrect.
Yeah. But yeah, and then she got a resurgence. She got a resurgence
with Margot Robbie.
With Margot Robbie, who I just adore. I knew a woman.
Australian.
Yes, she is Australian. Yes. I knew a woman in New York City who was a Barbie stylist. She went from toy fair to toy fair, and she would come with a big crate of this year's Barbies, and she would set up dioramas with all the current toys, and she would comb their pretty hair, and she would dress them and make sure that they presented the way the company wanted them presented, and that was her whole life and her whole career, and she made buku monies.
Hey, you got former Barbies and Kens who are past their best days performing in your displays in
I don't know. I don't have any real Barbies. I have some Chinese knockoffs. Yes, playing strippers in a go-go bar in one of my videos. Yeah, I'm proud of that set. I did a go-go bar set that I'm very proud of.
What's the name of the bar?
Boontong.
Boontong. There you go.
This was actually Jugs A Go-Go. Boontongs is just a beer bar. The Jugs A Go-Go was the A-Go-Go bar.
Did you come up with that name?
Yeah. Jugs with two G's, Jugs A Go-Go. And Death, the Angel of Death, comes to claim a PHANG as he's in the Go-Go bar. And as he and Death have their last conversation, the girls are you only see them from like the thighs down, and they're on the bar and they're doing things that naked women do in go-go bars. And somehow I got that on YouTube. I had 2 dolls engaged in all sorts of kinky sex, and YouTube just said, yeah, okay, go ahead. The algorithm or whatever the bots are.
It's like Team America. They had that half-hour puppet sex scene. And the censors actually got them to cut about 10 minutes out of it. Well, so we ended up with a 20-minute puppet sex scene instead.
They never came near me. So yeah, you can see toy sex on Steve's channel from about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
That has to be one of the most ridiculous, funny scenes it's ever been filmed, is that sex scene in Team America.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my channel.
Well, no,
I'm crushed now.
That's not hilarious. That's
Thought-provoking,
educational,
insightful. Yes, thank you. Nice save. But yeah, I think Team America, fuck yeah. I think Team America's. I think those guys, Trey and
Trey
Matt,
Parker and
Trey and Matt, are bloody genius. And I haven't seen any of the new stuff that they're doing that's getting all the attention. But
I wonder what they're going to make after last week. Anyway,
I haven't seen any of it, and I'm glad. No, I love their stuff. Again, I had a teenage son when they were at their height, and when they were knocking George Bush. Remember George Bush? And we all thought he was so terrible because he started 2 unwinnable 20-year-long wars. Those were heady days, huh? Heady days. We didn't know how lucky we had it.
But they're getting sort of even more cutting in usually people like the guy behind Family Guy, very talented guy.
Seth MacFarlane.
He sort of has done interviews recently saying he sort of regrets some of the early Family Guy stuff, thinking it was a little bit close to the bone. But Matt Lucas and Trey Parker, they're the opposite. They're just getting more cutting, more incisive. I love their stuff.
And
it's
they
very,
just
very clever.
Signed a $1.5 billion with Paramount, the people who just fired Stephen Colbert for his political speech. Just signed a $1.5 billion.
Can I just pull you back on that? I mean,
no.
You've sort of really...
Better people have tried. No.
You've sort of got it in your mind that your very favourite Stephen Colbert...
My favourite Stephen.
Who's not Steve, he's Stephen.
Yes, very much.
Was sort of cancelled.
Yes.
His show was also losing a lot of money for... I mean, if you are running a business, at some stage you've got to look at the balance sheet, and it may not necessarily be because it's a good or a bad show. It was just losing money. I think that whole late night genre has been losing money for quite a few years.
And the other guys are still on.
Well, yes.
Yes.
But
yeah, no, it's very obviously Paramount did it so they could get their big merger pushed through. I don't know if he was losing money or making money. I've seen both said, but he is by far the best performer on American TV right now, and his ratings are way up there beyond other shows that don't get canceled. So,
why don't they put those late night shows, if they're so damn good, on at like 8 o'clock at night? Why do they put them on at 11 at night? Heaven forbid, I'd be 2 hours asleep by the time they start.
I don't know. You would have to go back to 1951 and ask Jack Parr. Well, I mean, the genre is, 70 years old. And it's always been late night TV. And I suppose because you have traditionally much lower ratings at night, so you have a very cheap show. You have one set, one host, and people come on for free. Famous people come on for free to pimp their latest movie.
Those shows are not cheap. Well, when you got an orchestra of 8 people, and you got the sideman, and you got 7 writers, and you got producers and cameramen, those shows are extraordinarily expensive.
Compared to the Today Show or the Good Morning America or one episode of CSI Miami, no, they're dirt cheap.
Compare it to the morning shows. Yeah. What's different? You got a host or hosts. You've got those morning shows don't have orchestras or bands.
No, they have much bigger crews. They go outside. They go out on the plaza. They do man-on-the-street interviews.
And those late-night shows do skits, and they go out on the road, and they do
skit doesn't cost anything. A skit. That doesn't cost anything.
Let's talk about...
something else.
Fast food.
Oh, okay. I'm hungry again. I could eat. What do they got? I've eaten everything on the menu here.
So I had to go to Phang Nga town. Now, we live in the province of Phang Nga, just north of Phuket. And in many ways, Phuket is sort of closer than a lot of Phang Nga. So it takes about 50 minutes to an hour to get to Phang Nga town. And it's the hub of Phang Nga, because every place in Thailand's got to have a hub. Yeah. Because I had to go to immigration. And there were some problems with my paperwork again, and the agent and the immigration officer were having, in Thai terms, sort of heated words and glances, and I thought, I'm just going to have to intervene. So I sort of went over and said, can I just have a little word with you in the office? And I said to the agent, you stay out here. And so I went in there. And
I approve.
And she sort of said, well, there's two things you can do. Either you're going to have to go back overseas and get this all done again. And I thought, oh, shit, that's not going to happen. Or you could make
a contribution to the Widows and Orphans Fund.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
sure.
One contribution later, I go back.
No receipt.
Go back on Monday.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
But when I was there, I was thinking, I had half an hour to fill because they closed the office for lunchtime.
Sure.
Everybody just goes.
Yeah.
So there's no use hanging around. So I thought, well, where can I go for a quick lunch around here? And I just sort of drove down the road, and there was a PTT station and a KFC, and I thought, well, at least it'll be quick. So I went in there, and I have to say, I had the worst meal I've ever had in my life.
Aww.
Now, I usually don't mind, the odd KFC. It's usually reliable. You sort of know what you're going to get.
The whole brand of all the fast food is it will taste the same in Calcutta, Moscow, Washington, London. It'll always taste the same. That's what they rely on.
So I thought, well, now I'm here, I'm also going to be a little bit local. So I didn't have a normal piece of KFC. I had the Zinger burger, which is a little bit spicy. And rather than a sort of a golden brown, it's sort of almost a reddish brown because
it's spicy.
It's spicy. When I say spicy, even I could tolerate it in my darkest days. So it's just a little bit, sprinkle of something spicy. But they had that in a bun with a piece of lettuce and 17 litres of mayonnaise. And there was no chicken in there whatsoever. It was all crust.
Yeah.
There was no chicken. And then I thought, okay, well, I've got to eat something that's got nutrition in it.
Yeah.
So it was all in Thai. I had to get the lady to, they had my phone out going, what's that? Oh, okay. Tuna and corn salad. I thought, tuna, good. Corn, good. So that was another 20 litres of mayonnaise with something that resembled little yellow, I don't know what they were, but they weren't corn. And then I'm pretty sure that no dead fish had gone anywhere near that little bucket.
Not even porpoise.
It reminded me when I went to boarding school. We used to have on Wednesday nights chicken supreme. Chicken supreme was this packet stuff. It was grey in the packet, and it ended up grey when they added water to it. And it had little carrots and peas in it.
Sure.
And it was just revolting mush.
Probably chicken a la king rebranded, but yes.
It was just inedible, but, boarding school food in the 1970s.
Yeah, it was $1 a bag, so.
So it reminded me of the chicken supreme. So the corn and tuna salad didn't get eaten, and probably sits on that table to this very moment.
That is too bad, because just virtually next door to Pangai Immigration is a really nice.
Oh, I went there.
Yeah.
So I drove in there, and there were 80 cars.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I'll drive around the back of the house because I can't find a parking spot, and I'll drive out and see if I can find something. Well, somebody had blocked, so I had to back all the way. So I couldn't go there.
Oh,
that's usually a good feed.
Oh, that's wonderful. I forget the name of it.
We took your mother there.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yes.
When they were deporting her.
Yeah. When we arrived at lunch.
Yes.
We arrived at lunchtime, and they wouldn't see her because she used the bathroom that had been marked out of service. Don't use this bathroom.
Yes.
But she's 92. She couldn't go to the other bathroom where you have to squat. She needed a place to sit down. So, being 92 and from the United States, she just pushed her way into the bathroom and used it. And the clerks were not amused with that. So we were not successful that day. as I
Yes.
remember. We were not. My first job in my life was at KFC. It was still called Kentucky Fried Chicken then, because they were still frying it then. And you see them all over Southeast Asia because they're halal. Muslims can eat KFC. So they're very, very common here. And we have one. It's the closest fast food to us right here.
Yes.
In Kok Loi at the Big C or Lotus? Lotus.
Lotus.
Yeah. And I'll go there when I have a craving for Phalang food. And I've always been pleased. I like the cup of white refined sugar that they call coleslaw. I'll sit there and slurp that up. I put that you get the crust off the chicken, just the fried crust, and you fill that up with a big dollop of that sugary coleslaw. Oh, that is good.
No,
that is good munchies.
Maybe I wasn't in the right mood the other day.
Well, you got to hit the right store because the kids working there, they've never eaten that food. They don't eat it. You know, they're going to go down for noodles down the street on break.
Well, actually, they're not gonna Muslim ladies who were looking after me at the counter. So
yes,
there is something in what you say.
Always.
So anyway,
always. Yeah. When you've known me longer, you'll realize that I'm very insightful.
So Phangar town it's sort of the hub. So you've got the Department of Land Transport, you've got the immigration
the provincial seat.
Yes.
And that's why it carries the name of the province.
That's why I've got to go there. But it's potentially a beautiful little town with all these karst mountains around
it. The mountains are extraordinary.
It's very clean and manicured.
Yeah.
And very well looked after, but it's just something missing there. Heart.
Yeah, I don't know.
Efficiency.
I'm always pleased to go there if someone else does the driving, but I'm always pleased to leave and go home. I've not found anything.
I did notice the other day.
Keep me there. I spent a night there when I got my driver's license.
Well, I noticed the other day. I had a look at my driver's license, and it's expired.
Oh,
by quite a few months. Unbeknownst to me.
You're going to have to pay another agent.
So I was going to after I finished immigration, that'd be 5 minutes, 3 hours later, what did I do?
Do you carry all those cards just loose in your pocket?
Yes, I do.
You don't have a wallet?
No, I don't have a wallet.
How long have I known you? 3 years, and I've never known this.
Far too long.
And you've bought me lunch almost every day of those 3 years.
And I used to have wallets. I had some nice wallets. People used to give me wallets for Christmas when they couldn't think of anything else. Well, I give them a hanky or a wallet. So I've had some very nice wallets, but of course, wallets are things that you sometimes put down, a bit like a mobile phone. And the last one, I was living in Phuket, and I put it on the back seat of my scooter and drove off, and it went one way and the scooter went the other. So I now don't carry a wallet. I just put loose cash and my cards into my pocket.
Beach living, folks.
It works perfectly well for me. So no more wallets because I will lose it, and that'll be the end of that.
Now, may I share something with our audience? This is my wallet. These are my 2 children. You pull this out in Thailand.
They must have been adopted.
And you show, they're gorgeous, aren't they?
They're lovely.
Yeah, you show this to a Thai person and you say, yes, I have 2 children born in Ranong. They're Luk Krung. And boy, you get brownie points. They very much appreciate that you have children born in Thailand and they are Luk Krung.
Oh, I'll have to come up with a story like that.
Yes,
Get
honest
some
to God.
kudos.
Because we're constantly, we're always kind of behind the 8 ball here. So we're constantly trying to make friends. We're trying not to step on people's toes. We're trying to develop. These people all have, alliances since childhood, particularly in a place like this. These people all went to grade school together, and they've got animosities and alliances that they can count on that go back maybe generations. Our family has been in the tin smelting business together since 1862, and so we don't. We come from behind. We arrive here with none of that, and we're constantly trying to curry favor, trying to make friends, trying to get an advantage.
I'm not trying to curry favor.
Yeah, I know.
I just act respectfully. I just do my thing. I don't go home and go, how can I make them love me more?
Well, no, I don't do that either, obviously. But no, I think that personal relationships are very important here.
Yes.
And so maybe it's because I find personal relationships harder than you do. But a prop like this, I still carry it. It's all beat up. It's torn in the corners. The cards, all the pockets are loose and the cards fall out of it. But this prop, this icebreaker, has stood me in good stead. Let me just say that.
But yes, I'm going to have. So I was going to go down to the Department of Land Transport in Phang Town.
Oh right, we were talking about that. I'm sorry. Go on.
That's all right. And I thought, okay, this is going to be. Do I put a couple of thousand in my passport and hand it over? Or what? And they go, oh, it's expired, but we'll let it go. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to go and do the driving test again.
I would guess. Yes.
But then again, I remember last time it was so much fun. I'm probably happy to go and do it again.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. You have to sit through 8 hours of sort of a corporate thing, but they break it up. They play music, they get up and dance, they play games.
They show Fast and Furious movies?
Yes, and
they don't drive like that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, maybe they're saying drive like that. I don't know. Explains a lot.
Well, if so, people are taking the lesson to heart.
Yeah.
But they give away little prizes, little door prizes. They have long breaks, go outside, smoke 4 cigarettes.
Just make sure your phone is fully charged before you go there. Sit down the back. Everything will be fine.
Yeah,
They even did the multiple choice test for me.
Yes, they did it for me too. I took it twice and failed twice. And I'm a good driver. I've been driving since I was 14. I'm a good driver. But many of the questions in English were phrased in such a way that you weren't really sure what the right answer is.
Oh, no. It was worse than that. It was like question number 1. You come to a traffic light. You are at 100 kilometres an hour. How long to brake before you get to the traffic light? Something like that. A, goat. B, broom. C, palm tree. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My hovercraft is full of eels.
Yeah.
It's just, but they gave me 2 shots at it, and then they went, and they did it for me. And I got my license. And I'll tell you what, I've been stopped twice by the police. At the end of every month, they do that same road stop right in front of the police station because they can't be bothered to go anywhere. Right in front of the police station, they set up the orange cones. They stop absolutely everybody. Helmet license, helmet license, helmet license. And I always wear the helmet. And twice now, I have shown them that license. And the cops are like very pleased. Again, it's a prop that shows you're trying to assimilate, you're trying to integrate, you're trying to be a good guest, a good citizen. And
do they stop you on your 3-wheel old man bike?
Oh, God, no. They laugh at me. Everybody does. Everybody thinks that's the silliest thing in the world.
Go through.
Everybody laughs at that thing. But I love it. I will never go back. I told you I gave up the rented motorcycle I was renting, and I have way more room. Because I was parking it inside. You live on the beach, you can't park anything outside. So I was parking it inside, and it took up a lot of space in my house. And now it's gone, and I can just walk right in my front door.
But so anywhere you go, and you need a parking spot, or people will be looking at you going, oh, the poor old thing.
Yeah.
We'll have to help him out of the bike.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. I'll take that.
Sure.
I'll milk that. Sure.
We are at the cusp. Do you know that? We're at the cusp. We're sort of at the pinnacle of the monsoon this month, and it's all uphill from here on. The days will get a little bit...
I see what
the days will get shorter.
It's the rain solstice.
Because our best weather, strangely here in southern Thailand, is in the winter, and the worst weather is in the summer, as things happen here. So September is, and it has been, the wettest month of the year, and things will get a little bit better after this month in southern Thailand.
Yeah, it's certainly wet in my former brothel home. I've got towels.
You're wearing that with a badge.
Hell yeah, night lady. Where do you live? I'm going to put that out. If you want to send me anything now, send it to Steve Ross. Night lady. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Thai Muang 82120.
Oh, speaking
Shall
of which, we should thank...
Yeah, last week we didn't get it all into Narelle's notebook, and I was very disappointed.
But we do have to thank a few people first.
Yes, we do.
starting off with Michael. Thank you very, very much for your very kind and generous, not gift, but gifts.
Many gifts. Yes, Michael sent me four rubber turtles of a inflatable turtles of a style and size I have not ever seen. They're not on Amazon or Lazada. I don't know where he got them, but they're wonderful.
Where'd you get them, Michael?
And he sent cat treats and dog treats for you.
They've been enjoyed.
A DVD of Empire of the Sun.
Empire of the Sun.
And his good wishes. And
some books. And some Marmite.
That was Richard Mortimer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll get to thanking Richard. But Michael, thank you for your service. He's a veteran. But here, I want to bring this up.
Yes.
So Michael spent $98 to send me rubber turtles. That was the postage from Massachusetts to Turtle Beach. $98. Michael, please don't do that again.
Yeah.
It came with 70 baht due from the Customs and Excise Department. And the mailman shows me this. He says, Kun Steve, sakan. Where is it? Sakan to pay. And I said, I don't have any apps on my phone at all.
Who was the company that did the delivery? Was it DHL?
Post office. No, it's the post office.
Come through the post office.
The Thai Post. And I said, I'm sorry, I'll just give you 70 baht cash. He said, no, I can't. It's not, the post office is not charging you, the Customs and Excise Department, and you've got to scan. He said, here, give me your phone. I'll show you how to put an app on your phone. I said, no, I don't want banking apps on my phone. I'm a paranoid child of the 60s and 70s. I don't want the government looking in my phone. I said, no, I got 70 baht cash. So he, very frustrated with me, he sakan with his phone, and then I gave him 70 baht. So he's now on record paying the excise department for 4 rubber turtles. But I thought this is the age we're living in. Everybody's trying to push us to live in these phones. Everybody's trying to push us to be absolutely reliant on these phones for whatever reason. I'm sure it's easier for these companies to bill you if it's all just zeros and ones in a computer than dirty pieces of paper in somebody's wallet. But I'm not having
progress, Steve.
It is called progress. I'm not having it. I'm reactionary. I was progressive in my youth. Now I'm reactionary. I'm a Luddite, and I will not be enslaved to my phone.
How long do you spend each day on the phone or on the Wi-Fi or on the internet?
I have a desktop computer and I look at a fair amount of YouTube. And
yes, you do.
Yes, and I play audiobooks off YouTube as I do my turtles. I have either the FM radio or YouTube providing background noise in my house all day long. The phone, I don't usually know where the phone is.
Where's your phone at the moment, Steve?
It's in the house. I don't know where. And the battery's probably dead when I find it. I only use the phone to make videos. Now, I do have banking apps. I do check my bank on the computer, on the desktop computer. So I suppose if Big Brother wants to see, that Steve has $5.39 in his checking account, I suppose they can, no matter what the device is. But no, I'm just resistant to change. I don't like change, and I'm not going to make the move. I'll be dead soon enough. I don't need to learn anything
You
new.
are the old Luddite, the original Luddite.
Now, I would
but
like
thank you, Michael, very much. We
Thank you,
appreciate the effort. Amazing.
And I will thank 2 more people, and then I want to make an announcement. Richard Mortimer, who sent books and Marmite. Thank you very much, Richard. That was a very kind gift and probably not cheap to send. And Maddie sent me cash in an envelope. A lot of cash.
I'm pretty sure that's not legal anymore, but Maddie, thank you for supporting Steve. Saves us having to support him instead.
And I think a couple weeks ago I got Aussie dollars through PayPal and never thanked anybody, and now the name escapes me. I'm sorry, but I hadn't gotten money. I had forgotten the link was even on my channel. Somebody, I think it was 100 Aussie dollars.
That's worth at least 10 baht.
Yeah. See, I couldn't make that joke. Listen, I want to ask everybody, thank you for all these gifts and everything, but please, let's put a moratorium on sending Steve presents, and Tim as well, if you want. It's becoming a little embarrassing. I don't want anybody to think of me as a charity case. And in fact, it is a point of pride for me that I live very well on my Social Security. It is a particular point of pride that this American government is paying Steve Ross to clean this beach and make art with the trash he takes off this beach. In a time when they're defunding every arts program in America, my government is paying me to clean a Thai beach and make silly, shiny turtles out of the garbage. And that pleases me a lot. So I'm very, very grateful for all your generosity. You know, if you just, even the people who just put a comment, I enjoyed the show, I click a like on that. I don't often reply and say thank you. Be aware, I'm very, very grateful. I'm sure he is too.
But it's also a little bit embarrassing when people spend so much good money on postage. But it is much appreciated and very humbling. But
and you know, he's rich as Croesus. This guy lights his cigars with $100 bills. He doesn't need your money. This guy owned yachts, right? But I live very, very well.
I lost all my money on yachts.
So thank you guys. Thank you. You've all been really, really generous and kind. I had no idea. When we started this, I had no idea that envelopes full of money were going to arrive at my door. And on one hand, I like money, sure. But on the other hand, yeah, it's become a little cringy, I guess, a little cringy. And so please, let's not send Steve any more stuff.
The Tim Tams and the cherry ripes, amazing. But
yes.
We don't. Our waistlines do not need any help.
Well, my blood sugar. I have peripheral neuritis that
you got peripheral everything.
I do. I live on the edges of things, on the surfaces. But yeah, peripheral neuropathy, which is flared by sugars, blood sugar spikes. So Tim Tams and Tim Tams, a couple Tim Tams, the caramel ones with a cup of coffee, black coffee. Oh my God!
We've introduced you to cherry ripes.
Cherry ripes, yeah. You got to pick your teeth for half an hour when you're done.
Yes.
But all of it, I have appreciated absolutely everything. Every postcard, every letter that has come. I'm really, really grateful. But I'd like to ask that we stop that.
The best thing you can do is when you are in Thailand, drop in and say hi. That is fantastic. We love seeing you when you drop in. Especially Steve at 4 a.m. in the morning. Just knock on the door. He'll probably be awake. And the kettle will be on.
But I'll tell you what, for anybody, a real good bit of advice, anybody visiting Thailand or living in Thailand, if you can find some way to give back to these people. There are people in this community, it would literally change their life if they got an envelope with a couple $100 in it from Maddie. It changes my life too. But there are people around you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. You could stay in the Oriental Hotel. You walk outside on that street, there's going to be somebody begging. There's going to be somebody working 16 hours a day selling noodles, and they're making 170 baht profit in a day. So just, if you want to be generous, which I think is a blessing on the world, be generous, but be generous to these people, to our hosts.
We've got a sponsorship. We start next week as well.
What?
Yes.
Really? Who?
You know.
5-Star Marine?
No.
Thai boat house, Thai beach house, Thailand?
It's to do with shirts, all right?
Oh, CK.
Yes, we'll tell you all about it next week, okay?
Yeah, I didn't get the email. He said he sent me an email. CK.
You don't know how to use it. You've got to turn your computer on, all right?
Well, the power keeps going off.
Yes.
And then I go click, click, click. Normally, if I click the mouse, it comes to life. But after a power failure, I sit there, click, 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 and it doesn't. This is true, by the way. I sat there this morning, click, click, with my first cup of coffee going, why isn't the computer on? Yeah. But anyway, yes, CK, I didn't get that. But that's cool. We like a sponsorship. That's a quid pro quo. It's not charity. And that's wonderful. That's great. Yeah.
So let's go to Norel's notebook, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
We've got quite a few Steve got it wrong.
No,
and
we start with a Tim got it wrong.
Ha! We'll edit that bit out.
The Prime Minister of Australia, named Hawke,
Bob
Hawke said, if you fire anybody for not coming to work today, you're a bum. You would use the word bastard.
Yes, I do.
Another B word. We had 214 Australians correct you and say
right.
it's a memorable quote. Apparently,
Yeah,
everybody in
sure,
Australia remembers that. That was the America's Cup.
No, when we won the America's Cup, not many countries would get a day off because of a boat race, but there you go.
And Tim got it wrong again. There are dozens of toasters for sale.
No. Well, I'll qualify that because I've tried half of them. Because
I see.
Every one of our...
you've bought one for every rental house,
every rental house has got a toaster.
Sure, and a microwave and
the toasters are when you buy them, they look, okay. There are hundreds of toasters on Lazada, but there's only about 3 that actually work.
Okay.
The other ones, you can't even get the bread in because it's too small. They don't cook or heat or make the bread brown.
Something.
They're useless.
Yeah.
So something that Thais do not do very well is make toasters. I don't know what they may be for. I don't know what they're for. Putting your fingers in and maybe warming them.
They're
maybe
for show.
After washing your hands in the bathroom.
Toasters made by people who've never eaten a piece of toast in their life.
Exactly.
It's just not. It's like if I tried to design a rice cooker. I don't know. I've had 2 toasters in the 3 years I've been here. And what always goes on me is you put the toast in there, the bread in there, and then you push the thing down, and it won't stick down. It just immediately pop, shunk, pop, shunk. And that seems to be the weak link for me on a toaster in Thailand.
The fact that they don't work. I saw a great, I suppose you call it a magic trick. Somebody the other day, I was scrolling through, doom scrolling, and... The lady had taken the toaster in, saying that my toaster doesn't work, and the man starts shaking it, and sort of the crusts come out.
Right, all the crumbs.
The old crust. And he said, I think I found the problem. And he keeps on shaking, and it's just pounds and kilograms of crust coming out, and then cigarette lighters, and he's shaking, and it's just like this. And the lady's going, very funny magic trick.
Most toasters today are built with a trap door underneath.
Down the bottom, yes.
You can let all that stuff out because it's going to build up. Steve got it wrong.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Steve got it wrong. Brought to you, speaking of generosity, by
my Tim
White
Tams?
Labs Thailand, helping Steve get it wrong since 2025. Kratom was legalized in Thailand in 2021. I had said, this is something my hired man chews all day long. He has no teeth, but somehow he chews this leaf. And it was...
Gums kratom.
He gums kratom. And
have you ever tried kratom?
Oh, God, no. Ugh. No.
So you've tried it?
No. I'm just the whole idea. I've never chewed tobacco either. Or betel nut. The idea of keeping something in your mouth without either swallowing it or spitting it out, that whole idea.
I think you can drink kratom.
They make a juice.
Yeah.
I haven't tried a new drug since 1980. I think I went to New York City and discovered cocaine, and I had a real good cocaine addiction until 1988. The whole Reagan years, every single day, gram of coke, at least a gram of coke every day. And I have terrible sinus headaches now. But no, I haven't tried a new drug since 1980.
Probably good advice, by the way.
Yeah. Whatever you're doing in 1980, stick with that. We had 3 Thai respondents. All say they are not offended by the word Oriental. We had a discussion about the political correctness of the word Oriental now.
Is there a Thai word for Oriental? Does it translate? If I type into here we go.
Chao Asia, but Asia is not a Thai word. I don't know. That's a fascinating
Oriental.
question. What would they describe an Asian person?
What's that word?
Oh. Chao, which means people. I don't want to yell into... Tawan Ok, people of the East. Chao Tawan Ok, people of the East.
People of the East.
I mean, that's what they call Isan, is Tawan Ok, the East.
But generally, that's what... the Eastern... Yeah, I can get that. That's a fairly good translation of the way that the West uses the word Oriental, or did.
Yeah, I think, typically, they've got a word for every type of Asian. Yipun for the Japanese, Tin for the Chinese, Chow Malay for the Malaysians. But yeah, I've never heard that I can remember any Thai person speaking in Thai generally about people from Asia. That's an interesting question. I might ask Chamanan that. Chamanan. I might ask Chamanan that.
Who's been
But
chewing the kratom?
among our audience, we've established, I think we have a handful of Thai viewers, and thank you for coming. We very much appreciate the diversity and inclusiveness that you bring. And I think 3 of them chimed in and said, no, we're not offended by Oriental.
I used to start doing my news when I started Phuket News TV a million years ago. I used to always say "Sawadee Cup" at the start, and people used to get really offended by me doing that. Not the Thais, but Westerners saying it was cultural appropriation and you're not a Thai. You shouldn't be doing that. Oh, really? I think it's just a sort of a nicety, acknowledging that I'm broadcasting from Thailand. You can say hello many different ways, and I'm in Thailand, so say "Sawadee Cup."
And I used to work for a great-grandson of a king, and I met in that hotel a lot of high-class Thais and wealthy Thais, businessmen, and a Thai businessman.
How you've come down from there.
How the mighty have fallen. Seriously. But they used to love to show off their handshake. They used to love to walk up to a Farang and give me a good, firm, solid handshake that said, I went to school in the West. I learned this at Harvard, whatever. I mean, they didn't say that out loud, but they were definitely showing off that they knew this greeting, the handshake. And they weren't, I don't think, appropriate. I didn't ever feel like they were stealing my culture. I mean, no.
Grow up.
And I think Thai people appreciate any effort we make,
Yeah.
right or wrong, whether our execution is perfect or not, whether we bring our hands too high or keep them too low. I think most Thai people appreciate that we make an effort and do that.
Do you remember anybody specifically because of their handshake? You sort of, whenever you think of handshakes, you go, oh, I remember when I shook the hand of... I remember shaking the hand of a famous tennis player. I'm sure he's not with us anymore. Ken Rosewall. Very deft. He played well into his 40s, I think. But a very sort of deft player of the sort of 50s and 60s. He was like shaking a wet fish. And I don't know, it sort of conjures up different things in your mind when you shake somebody's hand and it's a bit wet. But a delightful man. It was with a terribly... look, he was a craftsman with a tennis racket. He probably didn't want to...
Yes, I would
hurt his grip.
Well, or hurt you with an inordinately strong grip. Maybe he had learned in the course of shaking thousands of hands in his profession.
Yes, there you
he had
go.
learned not to really squeeze. In El Paso, Texas, boy, you are judged by your handshake.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. And another man will size you up by your handshake.
Well, my father sort of taught me, always judge a man by his handshake.
Yeah.
And so I've always been, quite careful with my handshakes. Not that you shake hands much here in Thailand.
Well, I think COVID kind of put the kibosh on them. It's a lot of elbow bumps now, which kind of I like that. I like the elbow bump or the fist bump. There's something masculine and satisfying in that. And I'm not much for physical contact. I don't go for a lot of massages. For me, physical contact is in the realm of sex. I don't much like shaking hands or people who pat you on the back, people who are huggers.
Most people don't want to touch you anyway. Steve,
yeah, and I'm fine with that.
That works out pretty well both ways.
Yeah, so I don't miss the activity of shaking hands. And there's always going to be that one asshole who's got to show you, right? He's in charge. He's got that one president at the GA summit who won't let go of the other guy's hand and just keeps shaking and shaking. Yeah.
I've probably shaken more women's hands here in Thailand than I have men's, strangely. Because I was working in the office in Bangkok and meeting a lot of business people, and a lot of Thai women, when they meet a Westerner, they tend to offer you their hand.
Okay.
So I think that's good business from their side.
Okay, sure.
There you go. Right, handshakes. Off you go.
We have one more. Steve got it wrong.
Only one?
Yeah. Again, we got a lot of stuff from last week that we didn't get to last week.
Yes.
A lot of Steve got it wrong last week. I had said that Thomas Jefferson was the primary author of the American Constitution. No, James Madison, thank you very much. Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. I was not wrong in that Jefferson had 4 children with his 14-year-old sex slave. Before there was ever a Jeffrey's Island, that kind of thing was very, very common among American politicians. We have progressed.
Somewhat.
The collective noun for magpies is a mischief of magpies. There are some other collective nouns, but I looked it up, and the much by far preferred is a mischief of magpies.
You had time in your busy day to look up the collective noun for magpies.
In between 2 naps, yeah.
But there are sort of collective nouns for birds, like a
murder of crows.
When you see a whole lot of birds,
or a flock.
You say there's a flock, but within the flock there's also smaller designations for collective nouns for different bird species. A murder of crows.
I see what
a
you
mischief
mean.
of. But you could say a flock of magpies, and you wouldn't be wrong.
I suppose
you could say
so.
a flock of crows.
Okay, sure. Yeah, wasn't that a band? Flock of crows.
If you're going to say flock of crows, just be careful how you say it.
We had asked. I had talked about. Okay, so I've said before I chant Namo Tassa. It's an affirmation of faith, a little Buddhist thing. Takes about 30 seconds every morning. I light 3 sticks of incense and I chant Namo Tassa. And I've done this for 40 years. And
Yet you're atheist.
Yeah, and I'm an atheist, yeah. And some guy, one of these disembodied voices hiding behind an avatar and his keyboard said, the only thing that helps you is meditation. You change your consciousness with meditation. You've spent 40 years practicing an empty, useless ritual. Well, my response is, yes, it's a ritual. It's not empty and it's not useful. Makes me happy every single day. What can you name that makes you happy every single day for 40 years? It's very useful.
Waking up?
Yes, waking up, still
happy.
alive, being above ground and upright.
Yeah.
So I asked the Brain Trust, what are some rituals that you rely on? What do you do simply because it makes you feel good? And we got some response. Iced coffee after lunch. And I didn't write names down here, but somebody enjoys. I enjoy hot coffee after any meal. I would, if somebody offers me a cup of coffee after breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I'll take it.
I don't have coffee after lunch. If I do, I'm awake all night.
Yes,
I
used to be that way.
have a very sensitive constitution.
Well, I used to be very anxious, and that I used to not be able to have coffee after lunch. Now, in my retirement, I sleep very well. I can have a cup of coffee at 7 o'clock at night. Now,
how many hours do you get a night?
I have to get up to pee. See, that depends on my bladder.
Accumulated.
I can, on a good night, get 6 hours of sleep.
That's about my limit, too.
Yeah.
6. If I get 6, I'm pretty happy.
But I have discovered I can get through my day with 4 hours of sleep at night and a nap.
So you're still having to get up at night?
Yeah.
Because of
my bladder.
the plumbing.
Even though I've had my prostate enucleated, it's no longer a physiological or an anatomy problem. I don't know what it is. The signal from the bladder to the brain is hyperactive.
I've got to that stage where I'm going to have to visit a doctor and decide what to do. I can either take some medicine, which I don't want to do, or you can have some sort of minimal or maximal surgical intervention, which neither of them interest me either. But I'm going to have to do something.
The minimal intervention, as far as my sex life, getting my prostate enucleated.
Well, that was maximal.
Absolute. No.
They take out the...
Well, they scoop it like a melon baller. They scooped the insides out. And they screwed up. They nicked an artery, and my abdomen filled up with blood. And they had to go in and open me up again and drain all that blood and re-sew that thing. So the University of Iowa screwed up big time on mine. But when all of that drama was over, the results in terms of my sex life have been remarkable. And I've been very, very pleased with that.
Had to pay a little bit extra to the doctor.
No, but he took me to dinner. I'm cheap, baby. I'm a cheap date.
So, there are some new procedures these days which sort of open up the urethra and allow more flow.
We live in an age of medical miracles. We're very lucky, dude. We're very lucky to live. You know what I had? I
don't want somebody playing with my plumbing when I'm asleep.
You know, they've been inside my heart while I've been asleep.
Yeah.
They put tubes in my arteries, my coronary arteries.
I prefer that, I think.
Well, either way, they go in the groin. So they go and they access the femoral artery and they go in the groin. Is it the femoral on the inside? Yeah. And And this big
how are they going to do that?
This big prehensile metal tube with a camera and a light on the end of it go up your blood vessels all the way to your heart and put stents in the coronary arteries. My LAD
was... So why do they go to the heart from down there? Why don't they go through
coming in, I mean, your choices are the arms or the legs, right? Or the neck, I suppose. But the arms, you got to make that bend. You got to come in and then make a 90-degree turn.
Oh, I see.
It's a straight shot.
Right, okay.
I mean, relatively straight shot. I don't know why.
I'd love to have a camera
on the neck.
When they'd have to have you up on a high table or with your legs.
Your legs are wide open. My hips hurt for days afterwards. Yeah, they it's like the bimanual exam in the gynecologist's office.
I'm glad they're paid a lot of money, really. I'm going to have to... I'm getting up, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a night, and I'm thinking, it's time to do something about this.
Yeah, I thought it would fix that for me. It did not, but I'm still pleased with it. And also see what this is leading to, this getting up. There's a thing called retention, where your urethra just shuts down, the prostate swells till it blocks the urethra, and then you cannot pee, and that kills in the third world tens of thousands of men every year. Because eventually your bladder breaks and urine goes into the peritoneum, and your whole abdominal cavity gets sepsis, and you're just dead. And it's a horribly long and painful death. And it starts with not being able to pee. So Benjamin Franklin invented the red rubber catheter, and that was the first thing that just saved men's lives. But you had to catheterize, twice a day. And still, you can buy. There are men who won't go for the surgery who buy. They're advertised on Fox News all the time because that's their audience. A flexible, disposable catheter, and you just when you feel the urge, I was not willing to do that. But I went into the emergency room 3 times before I decided to do the operation. I went to the emergency room in retention 3 times. Horrible pain, terrible, terrible pain. And finally, after the 3rd time, and they catheterized me. You're in a room, it's a teaching hospital, the University of Iowa. So you're in a room with, 19 or 22-year-old medical students and nursing students and social workers and everybody else.
Aren't you glad you tuned in?
Yeah, and the guy's gloves up, and he's making small talk, and he's making jokes. So, did you drive in? How'd you get here? Yeah. And then and you feel that thing go all the way up your body, about yay far. And then you can pee, and then you feel the release, and you go, oh, this man just saved my life. Literally, this man right here, I've never met before. I will never meet him again. To him, it's just what he did before break. And he's literally saved my life. 3 times, 3 strangers, with a piece of plastic this long.
Okay,
anyway.
Let's leave it there.
Listen, let me show you the scar.
No.
Let me show you the scar.
No, nobody wants to see your scar.
Do you say iced tea in coffee or just ice tea?
Well, I know it's iced tea, but just I say iced tea.
Oh, okay.
Because you're saying that sound twice, iced tea.
Yeah.
So just iced tea.
Okay.
Sort of saves a breath.
We were doing rituals.
No, we've got to go. Look at the time.
No, these people contributed. Let me just 1 minute. 1 minute. Brushing teeth in the morning. Now, I would say that has a very practical use. That's good for you physically. Oh, it's going to rain like hell.
It certainly is.
Watching grumpy old men every Sunday is a ritual. Also has a practical use. You learn things about Steve's penis. Playing solitaire on my phone, and I have to win every challenge before I stop.
Ooh.
Every morning playing solitaire, or I suppose Sudoku.
If I'm going to play solitaire, I'm going to do it with cards or not at all.
Okay. You're a Luddite too.
Yeah.
Preparing and drinking loose leaf tea. Now, that is literally a religious ritual in Japan. That is the
Yes.
preparing of loose leaf tea. So that one I really see. And we can stop there.
Yes. Because we've found out far too much about Steve's plumbing. But with that,
Like a racehorse, baby.
with that knowledge, we go forth, or fifth. Thank you very much for dropping in today. Please like and subscribe. Thank you to Michael, to Maddie,
And to Michael Avila and Richard Mortimer.
thank you all very much and much appreciated.
But we're drawing a line under it here, please. Yeah, no more care packages, you guys. Thank you. But let's stop now. Thank you.
Like and subscribe. You got the Buy Me a Coffee. It's all down there in the description. Plus, you can find out where to buy Steve's books.
Oh yeah, Amazon.
And
Steve Ross with an E.
we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.